Zoo. I am with Miranda Thompson, again, the outreach keeper here at the zoo. She's been kindly guiding us through some of the animals that they have here. And today we're talking 8-legged animals.
Yes.
And so we have a very cute, very fuzzy one with us today. Tell me about Chili.
So this here is Chili. She's a rose-haired tarantula.
Very interesting. And so before we came on camera, Lee made a comment, something about, oh, be careful, it'll bite or something. But you gave me an interesting fact that no one's ever died from a tarantula.
Correct.
Common misconception, I'd say.
Yep, so tarantulas do have venom, but it's not toxic to humans.
Okay.
Nobody's ever died from a tarantula bite. So these guys are actually pretty harmless. And especially the rose-haired tarantulas are known for being best at being handled, most docile personalities.
Oh, very interesting.
Yep.
So kind of the opposite of what the movies would have us believe.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yep.
So is a tarantula something that we would find up here in North Dakota, or where do you typically find them?
Typically in much warmer regions.
Okay.
Yep, so these guys, they originate from Mexico, kind of South America.
Okay, so pretty far. We don't have to really concern ourselves with them. They're not gonna make it this far north.
Not going to appear in your house.
Yeah, and luckily, Chili is not the only tarantula that you guys have here.
Nope. So we do have another rose-haired tarantula named Pepper.
Okay, gotcha. And you told me, so I noticed when you brought out this box that it has her name on it. And you
Yes.
said that there's a very good reason why she has her own box.
So tarantulas will mark their territory with their webbing, and they can become rather territorial. So just to reduce stress, they have their own little box.
Because if she smells the other one, she's going to start getting a little mad.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So you mentioned their webs. Obviously, spiders spin webs. That's how they catch their food. Do they catch, are they looking for since they're a bigger spider, are they looking for bigger insects, or do they kind of eat whatever happens to fly in there?
For the most part, it'll be whatever happens to fly in. Since these guys are still a smaller tarantula, then they will typically eat the smaller bugs. Here at the zoo, they get crickets. Absolutely love them.
Okay.
Typically, they won't catch those ones in webs, but they'll actually kind of stalk and jump and grab them.
Really? Wow, multi-talented animals
Oh,
here.
yes.
They can do it all.
Yep.
You mentioned that they are smaller tarantulas, so that means that they can get bigger. Oh my goodness.
Yep, there are several species of tarantula.
Okay, so about how big would the biggest tarantula then be compared to Chili here?
I want to say the Goliath bird eater, and that
Okay.
one can get like 8 or so inches.
Okay, I was just
Yeah.
going to say, just by the name alone, I'm going to think
Yep.
it's a little bit too big for me
Yeah.
to be around.
I've never encountered one myself, but I have seen pictures and they are quite large.
Big,
Yep.
interesting. So Chili is, a very wondrous. She's been very awesome here for us this morning. But what are some of the other animals that people can see here at the Roosevelt Park Zoo when they come to visit? What do you know are some of the more popular ones?
So we've got our lions, we've got our tigers, bears, giraffes.
Yeah, the giraffes I hear are pretty popular, and they're going to be getting their own very special setup very soon.
Yes.
That's exciting, where because I was learning that they can't come outside when it's too cold, when it's icy, which is a lot of the season here in North
Yes.
Dakota. So this new enclosure, people will actually be able to see them year round.
Yep.
That's wonderful. I think that that's great. So, and you also you said that the popularity kind of shifts along the form of new babies. When new babies come around, that typically tends to be the more popular animals.
Yeah.
Interesting. So does Chili, is there any plans for her to be having any babies soon, or?
Nope. So we don't have a breeding program for our tarantulas. So Chili here, she's on her own. She's actually an older tarantula.
Okay.
She's about 13 years old now.
Very interesting. How long is the typical lifespan of a tarantula? Is 13?
About 15 to 20 years.
Okay,
Yep.
gotcha.
So she's getting up there, but she's still doing great.
I think so. She's moving pretty well. She looks very healthy for us here today. So if somebody wants to come see Chili or Pepper, the other one, or any of the other animals that you've listed for us, where can we find Roosevelt Zoo? How do we get here?
So 1219 East Burdick Expressway. So as you're coming along East Burdick, on the left-hand side of the road, you'll see signs for the zoo. And you can just turn into our parking lot. It'll take you right to the visitor center. We'll be right here.
And you're right here,
Yep.
open and welcoming visitors. And then, are you getting any new hours soon? I know that you kind of shorten hours in the wintertime. What are the hours going to be like here?
So as of right now, we are only open from 10 to 3, but then starting first week of May, we'll be open from 9 to 6:30.
Okay, excellent. 9 to 6:30, expanding those hours. Great. Well, thank you so much for bringing Chili out to meet us today. We certainly enjoyed learning about her. And we're going to send it back to the studio. We have a lot more coming up on North Dakota today. Stay tuned.